So the country continues to grieve with the citizens of El Paso, Texas and Dayton, Ohio, as we come to grips with two mass shootings this weekend that left at least 31 people dead and many more injured. In fact, tens of thousands die of gunfire every year, including suicide deaths. The Soul Box project, founded by a woman from Portland, is a traveling exhibit that displays one hand-folded origami box for every victim of gunfire in the U.S. It is a powerful testimony to loss and grief. The exhibit is currently here in Seattle, and we asked Soul Box Project's Leslie Lee to come join us and talk about it. Thank you for being here.
I'm very glad to be here. Thank you.
The boxes are quite small, but they're very powerful. How did this start?
Well, for me, it was the Las Vegas shooting. And when I realized what had happened, the magnitude of that just hit me, and I finally wanted to do something. You know, I'm an artist, I'm a professional artist, and I thought this long conversation that our country is having about gun deaths, gunfire epidemic really, is lacking a visual. We don't have an AIDS quilt, you know, to raise awareness of what is actually going on, because the numbers are so huge that we don't really, we don't understand them.
It's hard to take it in. It seems more like a
yes.
statistic than a person.
Exactly.
And what you've done is made something that invites us to think about the actual human being, and then to maybe take in the issue in a different way.
Right.
Who makes the boxes?
Anybody can make these boxes, which was my intention, was to not only hold space for each one of these victims, and we're talking about not just gun violence like we witnessed this weekend, but which is really a very, very small percentage. It's like less than 1% of the entire problem, but to hold space also for all the other shootings that happen all the time, and some of those are accidents, and some of them are defense, and a lot of them are suicides. Yeah.
So what do you hope will come out of this when people see these boxes?
Well, there's two things that we're hoping to do here. Or I shouldn't say hoping. We know it's happening because we're seeing it now. But the first thing that happens is when people make these boxes, that is a very healing thing to do. It's a very meditative process. If you get together with other groups of people, the conversations that happen around the table are, you say things that you wouldn't normally say. Brings things out for people. And so, there's this community building, there's this healing, there's this feeling of empowerment that when you take this one small action on your own, and then you know that it's going to be joined together with thousands and thousands and thousands of others, that's very empowering. I mean, this is something you can do. And when you're feeling so awful about the news and what you
and helpless,
yes.
really. And this is you opening some boxes.
Yes, they come in from all over the country.
People send them in.
Yes.
And there's one in particular that touched all of us in the office, and it was the one that says on the top, "Who's going to feed their dog?"
Who's going to feed their dog? Yes, yes. The boxes are really amazing in the messages that come in on them. Some of them have names, but this one speaks to how the effect of each one of these deaths or injuries radiates out. From that person to the family, to the community, to the
rest of
state,
us, because we all see this on TV, at least some of these sorts of things. You're trying specifically to keep us from just falling into a political abyss somewhere about this, but instead to think about this in human terms, because we keep going round and round, and then we end up doing nothing because we can't agree.
Yes.
So I take it you're trying to get us to come at it from a slightly different angle.
We're trying to get people to come at it from their own hearts, because when people are reached at an emotional level, that your hearts then speaks to your mind, and your mind is what takes action. So, statistics and legislation are not heart speakers. No, we we need to have this kind of a visual where somebody walks into one of these exhibits and is surrounded by what's really very beautiful. I mean, if you go to the exhibit at the School of Visual Concepts, you'll see when you walk in, it's gorgeous. You know, I mean, it looks like there's quilts hanging on the wall.
Or like a mosaic, but
Yeah,
then you
exactly. You get up to
realize
it,
what
yes.
it is, and it starts to, you know, come together.
Yeah.
So you're bringing this to us, as you mentioned, at the School of Visual Concepts. How long will you be there, and can people bring boxes? How do we know how to do this, how to make a box?
Well, we have a great website,
Okay.
for one thing. The exhibit is only open through Thursday, so hustle on down
Yeah,
there.
get
and
there.
a chance, yeah. We have a couple of exhibits in Portland too, so if you're down there the next 2 months, there'll be exhibits in Portland. That's all online, you can see. And our brochures have, you know, these all the instructions,
yeah.
and there's video online also on how to do it. You know, I mean, it's just a couple of pieces of paper. This is all you need to
It's like 2
empower
pages of stock
yourselves.
paper, and
Yeah.
then you're off to the races. And we
Exactly.
can send it to you, and it will continue to grow. the
Build
exhibit?
up. Yes, we have over 62,000 of these at this point. We want to have 200,000 at least to take to the National Mall in 2020. So in order for that to happen, people really need to, you know, we need to step this up. People need to join in. We need somebody with a really big heart and very deep pockets to help us make those kinds of things happen. Yeah, because like any nonprofit, you know,
You need help.
we need help.
Yes.
We need funding.
And it's
yeah.
such an important thing to at least get us talking and thinking maybe in a fresh way.
Yes, because we can be responsible, you know, ourselves.
And not be helpless, which is generally how you feel after
Exactly,
these things.
exactly.
Thank you so very much. You can see 3,000 of the soul boxes on display at the School of Visual Concepts in South Lake Union now through Thursday, August 8th. If you'd like to make your own soul box and send it in, we have step-by-step instructions online. Thank you so much for visiting with us.
Thank